Welcome to episode 30 of the Seagrove Sessions, memories and tales from members of North Edinburgh Dementia Care's Seagrove Centre. This time round we hear from Hermine, who left her native Austria when she was 17 and moved to London. We hear about her change of career, she trained as a hairdresser, the move to Scotland and her time at Newbattle Abbey College, and her 7-year stint working at a homeless hostel for women. It's a fascinating journey. Enjoy.
Well, I was born in Upper Austria, and my mum, as per usual, stayed at home looking after the kids. There's 4 of us, 4 girls.
When did you come to... I think you came to England first, didn't you?
I came to London.
London, right.
I did my apprenticeship as a hairdresser in our village. And as per usual, there weren't any jobs going. So somebody knew somebody. My English teacher, in fact, had a daughter who lived in London. And she said, why don't you go to London? Well, 2 weeks later, I was in London. I think I surprised myself as well. And, yeah.
That must have been, if you said you were in quite a small village in Austria, and then you arrive in London, that's what they call a bit of a culture shock, isn't it?
Indeed. But there was a place called Newbattle Abbey College, which was in Dalkeith. So I went there from London because I thought I didn't like London. From the village to London, it's a bit of a...
So you didn't stay there very long then?
A couple of years. But Dalkeith was good, and met my husband there,
right,
and had kids there. Basically stayed on, and now... Well, Newbattle was more of a sort of a catch-up thingy.
Okay.
You know, when I left school when I wasn't even 14.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which was quite usual at that time. And then, of course, that kind of held you back from all sorts, and I wanted to go and study. So...
I know that was quite a good college, as you say, that people hadn't gone conventionally through education.
Yes.
Yeah.
And...
Was your husband at Newbattle Abbey?
No, I met him at the university.
Ah, right.
So after 2 years in Newbattle, I went to Edinburgh University and was there for 2 years.
So that's what they did, wasn't it, at Newbattle? They bring you up to kind of a level and then you could go to university?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you didn't have any A-levels or whatever you needed to go to university, Newbattle would kind of provide you with that.
Yeah.
And it was a lovely setting as well. It was a sort of a...
It's a lovely building,
magnificent grounds as well. And of course, it gathered interesting people.
Yes.
Everybody at the crossroads of their life wanting to do something else. So you had quite a few nutters, but quite a few really interesting people as well. So
you went to Edinburgh University. What did you study there?
Psychology. So I did psychology for 4 years, and then what did I do after that?
Well, I believe you worked at Cranston Street, wasn't it? The hostel.
The women's hostel.
Yeah.
Yes, that was interesting.
I would imagine that was quite a lively place.
Yes, because again, it gathered people at the crossroads. It was women only. So there was no kind of mix, although eventually they mixed it up a bit because they couldn't fill it with women only.
Right.
There weren't enough women to go round, not because it kind of was catering for about 20 or 30 people with a room, separate room each, separate flats. So no, that was quite a crazy place.
I would imagine it would be quite intense work at times.
Yes. You had to have quite good nerves.
Yeah. You would encounter a huge variety of behaviour, I would imagine.
That you did. Because, we had, like, you would come to the office, and then a staff room, and then a big living room where people would go and watch telly. So that was quite lively because people didn't always get on. And so you had to do a lot of policing, fights and stuff like that. So you had to have quite a presence, really. So to stop up a little Barney without actually joining in.
Of course.
So.
And was it only women that actually worked? Was the staff all women then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah, it had to be because I think no man would have survived that environment. So yes.
I mean, you have to be, as you've indicated, a certain type of person to be able to work in that environment, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the police knew us quite well, as you can imagine. So, which was also very good because all we needed to do was phone and they would be there right away.
Yeah.
Rather than, have a cup of tea first and that kind of thing, if it's not urgent. But we had access to the police, and it was a crazy place, but quite a good place.
And did you work there for quite some time?
I think it was about 7 years or so. Quite a long time.
That's quite a shift to do. And were you doing shifts, or was it just day work or night work?
No. It started at 7. The early shift started at 7, and then we did overnights, but not waking overnights. We had a bedroom, and if anything went wrong, they had a phone. They could phone us down, and we would go and check it out. Yeah, it was always kind of the adrenaline kind of started going when the phone rang. Okay, oh no, what's happening now? But it was good. It was good because the people who worked there and your colleagues were all pretty solid. So quite some place.
And was there quite a high turnover of people staying there? But it wasn't. Was it long term? It wouldn't be long term staying, would it?
It wasn't supposed to be, but we wouldn't ask anybody to leave until they had somewhere else to go. Like we had to go and find them a permanent place to stay before we could ask them to leave, which of course wasn't always easy. So instead of the average, so it was set out to be about 3 months. Some of them would be staying almost like a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm. And would you get the same people coming back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very often because they liked it. They liked the immediate company. You'd find them a place that live on their own. They couldn't hack it on their own because they preferred the immediate friends. Or enemies or whatever, because the flats would have between... We had 2 flats with 2 people in it. And the rest had about 5 people in it. So it was a crazy place, but good.
Were you able to use your psychology there?
You kind of instinctively do. Not manipulate's not the right way, but it is in a way, because you have to manipulate behaviour.
Yeah, of course you do.
So make sure that things don't get too out of hand.
Yeah, you can't let things escalate, can you?
Yes.
And would there be drugs? Was that an issue in the...
They weren't supposed to bring anything in, obviously, otherwise things would have got out of hand. We had the power to search their bags, which we quite regularly did because it was sort of set downstairs and we could see people coming down and we could see a few shenanigans, and if we could see things exchanging into handbags, we would kind of take them round the back and say, open up. And then we would take it, and on the way out they can have it back. But they couldn't have it in-house. Otherwise things would have got quite mad.
Yes. And did people try and sneak other people in?
Because it was a women only. We had some funny scenarios. Some blokes dressed up as women, thinking we couldn't tell, You'd say, come on, let's go through the back. I think you need to just leave. You're not supposed to be here and all that jazz. Invariably, what always surprised me is how readily they would take our authority without judgment. If we'd say you can't do that, they would say, well, sorry about that, okay. And off they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was because you were a woman and not a man confronting them.
Possibly. A woman to woman, yeah.
Or maybe you just had a bit of authority.
Well, we had the authority to ask them to leave, so that was enough, because when we would never ask anybody to leave without having found them somewhere else to go.
No.
But very often people really liked,
Yeah.
so they didn't really want to.
As you say, if you've got all that company and it's a familiar place, then being taken out to where you, as you say, would be on your own in effect.
Yes, yeah.
It doesn't work for everyone, does it? So did you have a job before you went to the Cranston Street?
I worked again in a hostel, a mixed hostel, where we would be part of cooking
All right.
and all that jazz,
Yeah.
laundry duties. So, yeah.
So sort of doing the housekeeping side of it as well.
Yeah.
But you must be very much a people person, especially working at that level with people.
Yes. I think I would have found it very boring to not work with people.
Yeah. And when you moved to London, what was your English like? Was it very good?
No. I went to secondary modern, and we did 2 years of English there, but only like an hour a week. So when I came to London, it's amazing how quickly you learn when you're submersed, because you need to communicate, you want to communicate, things are going on. So, yes.
And I'm always fascinated when somebody has two languages, like yourself. Do you think in English or in Austrian?
Now it's English all the way. Yes. Well, I have been speaking English now since I was 17.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a bit older than that now.
Aren't we all?
Yes.
And do you have family still in Austria?
Yes, I've got 3 sisters. One brother, although he's dead now.
Right. So do you go back at all?
Yes.
Yes.
I've visited my younger sister lives just across from the German border in a lovely little village, and then I've got one in a bigger town. Mm-hmm. She's quite eccentric, because brave, because she lives with a woman in an obviously openly gay relationship.
Oh, good.
That in an Austrian village is initially brave, they got a fear, but then very quickly they got accepted. That's because they were both really nice people. I like.
That's good to hear.
Lots as well.
And then you had to cope with speaking English in London, and then you arrive in Scotland, which is a whole different type of English. Mm-hmm. So you must be very good at taking on.
I think once you have it as a second language, you adapt, so very quickly you cannot tune in. So yeah, no.
Do you still feel Austrian though?
No. I'm kind of Scottish now. Not English, I must say.
No.
I've got lovely friends up in Dundee. I've got the daughter, and who stays. Well, I stay with her most of the time.
Right. Okay.
I've got the son who lives in Houston, Texas.
Wow. Okay.
So we go there a couple of times a year. My daughter, she lives over the other side of Arthur, and she's got 4 dogs.
Right.
And that's lovely. And take them for long walks to the dog park and stuff. I stay with her a lot.
And do all those adventures, because it is an adventure coming from Austria to London at that age, do they seem a long time ago to you?
Oh God, yes. Yes. Do I remember arriving? Not quite sure. It's so long ago.
Come in, did you fly in or did you come by?
Oh no,
boat? Train.
Yeah, well, train and then boat, which was quite a journey, because it's, you go from our village to the Dover or Ostend or places. Yeah. And then across the water.
Yeah.
No, I stayed in London for quite a bit. Hairdressing. Did my apprenticeship in Austria. Yes, I did my apprenticeship in the village. I didn't really learn a lot, although because if you're in a village, you've got the same people all the time, so they don't want to be treated by an apprentice.
No. Yes, your clients, hairdressing clients in London would have been much more varied, I would imagine.
Yes, well, because I then worked in the city, although I lived in the suburb, I'd be travelling into the city every day, into a very posh salon, and then back. So yes, I did a lot of sitting on trains, because I had to leave at 7 a.m. By the time I got back, it was like 8 in the evening, and then be knackered, so we go to bed. So there wasn't really a hell of a lot of social life out in Cashel and Wallington, that kind of, sorry. Not only did I have to go to Victoria Station, so I lived in the city, I had to go to Victoria Station, take a bus from Victoria Station to Croydon, and then take another bus to Cashalton. It was just not ideal.
So your salvation was going to Newbattle Abbey?
Yeah, because I left education so young. And a friend of the friend I was staying with was really into education, and she said to me, "You seem bright, why don't you just catch up on the education?" And she gave me the address and contacted a Newbattle for me, and more or less within 2 weeks I was up in Newbattle and met loads of new people. So yes,
it was a fantastic idea, Newbattle Abbey, wasn't it, to take people that hadn't gone through conventional education and bring them up.
Yes. Also knowing that because they were there willingly, they were very keen, and everybody had a room of their own, so it was like the big communal dining room, and then the living quarters. So you had your own room, and set in amazing grounds, with lovely walks and interesting people.
Thank you for joining us for episode 30 of the Seagrove Sessions and Hermine's memories of her journey from Austria to Scotland. For more episodes of the Seagrove Sessions, our other podcasting channel, How We Live with Dementia, go to www.nedc.org.uk, and please follow us on Facebook. That's at NEDC, the Seagrove Centre. Catch you in the next one.